I'm happy to join you today and participate on this debate. Education and culture are back at the top of the political agenda. There is now a broad consensus that they have a critical role in building resilient, cohesive, and fair societies. This is the moment for all of us to work together to lay the foundations of a Europe in which we give the people the means to stand on their own feet, the empathy and creativity to engage with others, and the sense of belonging to a community. EU heads of state and government gave us a mandate in Gothenburg in November last year, and in their conclusions of December, they are very clear that they want more ambition. It was the first time since 2002 that EU leaders sent such a strong signal on education and culture. We need to make the most of this momentum. It is time to move on, agree on, and start working towards bold objectives. Naturally, Europe's regions have a vital part to play in this. How is the Commission taking this work forward? We actually started delivering in November last year. The communication on strengthening the European identity through education and culture, which you are very familiar with, sets out a clear roadmap towards a European education area. Already in January, I presented a first set of concrete initiatives to start work on this project, and I will table a second batch next Tuesday. The European education area that we want to build with member states and regions by 2025 rests on a set of key principles. First, a lifelong learning approach and a broad concept of education. Learning starts early and continues throughout life. Moreover, classrooms are not the only places where education and culture are taught and experienced. And of course, the European education area covers all levels and areas of education, including vocational education and training. Second, we must build very strong foundations, stronger than the existing ones. If 1 in 5 of our 15-year-olds cannot read, write, or count properly, as the PISA surveys show, then how can we achieve important goals in innovation, excellence, or entrepreneurship? If the fate of pupils is sealed before they are 10, how can we build truly inclusive, fair societies? To tackle these challenges, I will next week propose a recommendation on early child education and care. The early years in life are crucial, and access to quality education for all is the best way to ensure social mobility and equity. That is also why I proposed in January a new recommendation on key competencies with a strong focus on basic skills, entrepreneurship, and the important subjects of science, technology, engineering, and maths. Strong foundations and resilience are not only about competencies, they are also about attitudes, about solidarity, mutual understanding, and a sense of belonging. It is time for us to promote the values the European Union is built on and to teach more about European integration in our schools. This is crucial at a moment when we are facing social fragmentation, divisive nationalism, and violent extremism. Earlier this year, I proposed a recommendation to member states on common values, inclusive education, and the European dimension of teaching. This was a first, and I'm very proud that member states are about to agree on this approach at a Council meeting next week. Promoting our shared values is key, as is strengthening our local, national, and European identities. And we need to teach young people better about the European Union. I'm very worried by the growing divisions between countries, the gulf between East and West, for instance, but also within countries, between regions, cities, communities. Young people are the strongest force in building bridges. We need to do more to bring them together, to enable them to learn about each other, about our diversity, but also about what we have in common. Building stronger foundations also means empowering young people, giving them opportunities to engage and support others to shape their lives and the future of this continent. The renewed EU Youth Strategy, which I will propose next week, will seek to achieve just that. In particular, I want us to reach out to young people with fewer opportunities, enabling them to grow into confident, independent citizens is especially important to me. This will mean setting up a very different kind of communication and dialogue with young people at EU level. A dialogue that is open, inclusive, and meaningful. This is important with regard to the European Parliament elections coming up in 2019, but of course also beyond. The final key principle we need to put in place to build a European education area is openness. I want us to create a space without internal borders where mobility is the rule, not the exception. We have a single market and the Schengen area, so why should we accept barriers to learning abroad? To overcome borders, we must encourage European citizens to speak two languages apart from their mother tongues. And we must ensure that their university and high school qualifications are swiftly recognized across member states. I will present 2 recommendations next week addressing these issues. Moreover, a European education area needs to include true European universities. We need strong networks of higher education institutions that will build a shared long-term vision for education, research, innovation, and service to society. This is vital to boost excellence in the universities themselves and make them more competitive, but also to drive the economic and social development of the regions where they are located. As President Lamberts rightly stated, the European education area will only be complete if it is underpinned by an ambitious European cultural agenda. Europeans need to be able to make the most of our diversity and our shared cultural heritage, which is crucial, not only because it helps us understand our roots, but also because it enables us to build the future. That is why I will propose next week a new European agenda for culture. It will build on the momentum created by the European Year of Cultural Heritage, which we celebrate this year, thanks in no small part to your strong support. With our proposal for a new European agenda for culture, we want to harness the power of culture to drive economic growth, job creation, and social development. And we want to make the most of culture in our external relations to create stronger links with our partners around the world. President Lamberts, dear members, I know you are very closely involved in taking work on these important initiatives forward. We welcome your opinions on the November communication and on cultural heritage, and are looking forward to your views on the initiatives I will present next week. Thank you for your commitment and support. Together, we can make these ambitious plans reality. But to do so, we need sufficient financial support for education, youth, and culture policies. The Commission has done its part to ensure this is the case. For the next multi-annual financial framework, we propose to more than double funds for Erasmus, so that 3 times as many people can benefit. We also want to double the budget for the European Solidarity Corps after 2020. And I fought hard to ensure that we keep a self-standing program to support the cultural and creative sectors. Moreover, we propose to boost funds for the next Creative Europe program. We need a budget that gives us the means to deliver. And this proposal is an excellent start. I'm counting on you to defend it in the difficult negotiations ahead. But first, I'm now looking forward to hearing your views and discussing with you. Thank you very much.